The story begins with the main character, alone and deep in thought. Life for him had always been predictable, perhaps too predictable. But something about this particular day felt different. It was as if the world had shifted ever so slightly, leaving him teetering on the edge of something unknown. One quiet evening, while walking down an empty road, he senses an odd presence. The streetlights flicker, and a strange chill runs down his spine. Out of the shadows, a figure cloaked in black emerges, its form almost blending into the night itself. It calls out his name in a voice that sends shivers through him. The figure tells him something he cannot believe. He is destined to rule a realm of darkness. Stunned, he steps back. Ruler of a dark realm? Him? The figure vanishes before he can even ask what it meant, but its words cling to him, echoing in his mind. That night, he lies awake, staring at the ceiling, his thoughts spinning out of control. What realm? What power? Why him? The next day, his life begins to change in ways he cannot ignore. Shadows stretch unnaturally when he moves. Objects seem to respond to his frustration, and strangers avoid him as if sensing something dangerous. He feels a pull deep inside, an energy he's never noticed before. It's frightening, but also strangely thrilling. Later that week, he has a vivid dream. In it, he stands in a grand hall, surrounded by creatures he cannot name. They kneel before him, their voices rising in unison as they call him their master. The dream feels too real to dismiss. When he wakes, his hands tremble. What if it wasn't just a dream? What would you do if the world told you were destined for greatness, but it came with a price? Determined to find answers, he begins to experiment with his newfound abilities. The shadows seem alive, responding to his emotions and thoughts. At first, they frighten him, but with time, he learns to control them. They move like an extension of himself, bending and shifting as he wills them to. But his discovery doesn't go unnoticed. One evening, a group of warriors clad in shimmering armor confronts him. They accuse him of being a threat to the balance of the world. He tries to explain that he's just discovering his powers, but they don't listen. The warriors attack, and instinct takes over. The shadows rise around him like a living shield, blocking their strikes. He doesn't want to fight, but the energy within him surges, pushing the warriors back. As they retreat, one of them warns him, "You cannot escape your fate." Fate. The word haunts him. Is he destined to walk a dark path, or can he rewrite his story? Amid this chaos, he meets someone unexpected, a healer who sees beyond his powers. She tells him about an ancient prophecy of a dark ruler, someone who could either destroy the world or save it. Her calm presence and faith in him make him question everything. Could he really choose a different path? Their bond grows stronger as days pass. The healer becomes his guiding light, showing him that his powers aren't inherently evil. They are a tool, and it's his choices that will determine his destiny. For the first time, he feels hope, but that hope is short-lived. The cloaked figure returns, this time with an army of shadowy creatures at its side. It demands that he fulfill his destiny and take the throne of the dark realm. The figure reveals that it has been watching him for years, waiting for the moment he would awaken to his powers. Anger wells up in him. He refuses to be controlled, but the figure only laughs, its voice like ice. "You were born for this," it says. "The darkness is in your blood. You cannot deny it." The final battle begins. The figure's shadow army surges toward him, and he is forced to confront his fears head-on. His powers flare uncontrollably at first, but he remembers the healer's words. He focuses, using his strength not to destroy but to protect. The fight is brutal. Every move feels like a test of his resolve. The figure taunts him, trying to break his spirit, but he doesn't give in. With one final surge of power, he turns the shadows against the figure, breaking its control over the army. The figure, weakened and desperate, warns him one last time, "The darkness will never leave you. It will always be a part of you." Then, it vanishes, leaving behind an eerie silence. As dawn breaks, he stands alone amidst the aftermath. The battle is over, but his journey has just begun. The darkness may always be with him, but it doesn't have to define him. He vows to use his power to protect, not harm, and to forge his own path no matter how difficult. Now that he has conquered his darkest fears, will he continue to fight for light, or will the shadows win? If you were in his shoes, could you carry the weight of such power? Would you embrace it or fight against it? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more exciting stories like this.